We're gonna move pretty quick through this. It's 7 o'clock. It's a regular call meeting, April 6th. Call meeting to order. Be a roll call, please.
Jessica Sewell. Jennifer Daniels. Diane Griffith. Nicole Gatewood.
Kyle Curry.
All present and accounted for. Public comment.
Yes, sir. Luke Sweeney.
Want to be the first? Congratulations, Mayor. Commissioner's Court. You just wait.
Go ahead.
Now, I just want to say, hey, it's always a pleasure myself working with you, and I appreciate everything you do, and of course with your lovely wife and partner here, that, you know, the city of Coldspring and the county is much better off. Much better off.
We're trying. Everything we do is not always right, but we make adjustments and turn it that way. And that early morning coffee, when you come to my house and wake me up, you have a record for that day.
Not before 9 o'clock. Probably 9 o'clock.
I figured out and burnt my bridge where you made you upset and you hadn't showed up. I hadn't seen you or your dog yet. It's 6 in the morning. Of course, now that's dark.
Yeah.
So please wait till about 7:30.
I'll read the sign, 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock.
Yeah, the sign says 9 o'clock, but you're an exception.
There you go, I appreciate it.
Anything next?
Mr. Dieter.
You got it?
I bring you good news. Everybody has been asking about the Corral. And we came really close to opening up this week. However, we need your help. There's been some changes that the people from Willis want to stay there. So we need help desperately. We need immediately cooks. We need a manager. We need dishwashers, and we need servers. And we will arrange for the interview here, or you can interview at Willis, at the Willis location. And I'll leave a sheet here with you so that you can get the word out.
So you're on TV right now.
Yes.
So the word's going to get out through your TV broadcast.
Almost.
Almost?
Almost, because we haven't opened the doors. We were hoping that we were going to do it Thursday. But due to circumstances, we need personnel.
Thank you. We'll make that available when anybody calls in. Jody, next.
That's all.
That's all. Okay.
I make a motion that we adopt the agenda.
Item number 9, which is the swearing in of our judges are flipping their roles, and I want to move adopt the agenda, and in that motion move 9A in between payment of bills and reports. So 9A will fall right below 6. So you know how to make that motion?
I make the motion as stated for adopt the agenda.
As stated.
As stated.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. You're on here in a minute. Let's see, minutes for approval. You got them?
I make a motion to adopt the minutes.
Second?
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Let the record show that the regular call meeting for March the 9th, 2026 minutes were approved. Approval of bills to be paid.
I make a motion to pay the bills. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Carried. Which brings us to number 9, 9A, that y'all have moved. Discussion of possible action on appointing Judge Harris Blanchette to the primary municipal judge and Marsha Strickland to the associate municipal judge for the city of Coldspring. Marsha called me and asked me if that's okay with Judge Blanchette. Could we do that? I said, of course. And I talked to council, and we have Judge Blanchette here. They can be sworn in as our municipal judge.
But we gotta need to approve the switch.
Yeah, we're gonna approve it. Are we good? And is Marsha back there to step back and be sworn in as the associate or whatever we do? So, On 9A, I need a motion
I make a motion
to make that change. As read.
change it to.
Or second.
All in favor? All right, you're on.
Okay. Judge Blanchette, you want to come up here and get sworn in? I'm going to swear you in as a notary. Unless the mayor would like to do it.
All you got? I nominated you.
Yeah, I know. Okay. I, state your name,
I, Harris Blanchette,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I have not directly or indirectly
I have not directly or indirectly
paid,
paid,
offered,
offered,
promised to pay,
promised to pay,
contributed,
contributed,
or promised to contribute
or promised to contribute
any money or thing of value,
any money or thing of value.
or promise any public office or employment
I have not promised any public office or employment
for the giving
for the giving
or withholding a vote
or withholding of vote
at the election which I was elected,
at the election in which I was elected,
or as a reward to secure my appointment
or as a reward to secure my appointment
or conferment,
or conferment,
whichever the case may be.
whichever the case may be.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Okay, that's the statement.
That is the statement.
Now then we're going to do the oath.
Now we're going to do the oath.
I don't thank you, Ms. Strickland. Okay, now then repeat after me. I, state your name,
I, Harris Blanchette,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully
that I will faithfully
execute the duties
execute the duties
of the office of City of Coldspring
of the office of the City of Cold Springs,
Municipal Judge
municipal judge
of the State of Texas,
of the great state of Texas,
and will to the best of my
and
ability
will to the best of my ability
preserve,
preserve,
protect,
protect,
and defend
and defend
the
the
Constitution
Constitution
and the laws of the United States and of this state.
and of this great state.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Okay, you're it now.
Thank you.
You like to swear in your associate?
No, I'll let you do that. You're good.
He does a great job. Huh?
You're talking about the associate that's having an anniversary today?
I didn't expect you to be here.
Oh, that's okay then, I'll go back.
Oh, but I got your paperwork
Okay, all right,
because I knew how dedicated you were.
that's right.
Even though it's your end, what was it, 20?
This is 24.
24?
Yes, sir.
Poor Marsha.
I know, about this time 24 years ago, we were on the dance floor. All right.
Okay, so I'm just going to have you sign the statement here.
Yes, sir.
We're just going to do the oath.
Sounds good.
Because I put the statement in front of me before I put the oath before I go for Judge Blanchette.
Sounds good.
Okay, so repeat after me. I, state your name,
I, Marsha Strickland,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute
that I will faithfully execute
the duties of the office,
the duties of the office,
City of Coldspring,
City of Coldspring,
Associate Municipal Judge
Associate Municipal Judge
of the State of Texas,
of the great state of Texas,
and will to the best of my ability
and will to the best of my ability
preserve,
preserve,
protect, and defend
protect, and defend
the Constitution
the Constitution
and the laws of the United States
and the laws of the United States
and of this great state.
and of this great state.
So help me
So
God.
help me God.
Okay, congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Sign everything.
No problem.
No need to call me.
Slay or persevere on the oath. Okay, next, number 7, reports and mayor's update. We have in your packet some information on Visit Coldspring Meeting. If you have any questions on that, Dr. B's out here, you can just shoot at her. Your letter that you sent out, your packets.
I'm just trying to get you guys informed as to what we've been working on and want to continue to do that with the Coldspring.
Okay? learned a lot about the city.
We certainly did.
Some things that we probably didn't want to know. Okay, on my report, it's going to be brief because we're going to move pretty quickly. Game rooms. We will not have the 38 slot machine game room at the shopping center. That has been, lease has been canceled. That's not going to occur. I continue to visit with council about some type of ordinance. If we're not going to be able to stop them, we've got to be able to regulate them. So I'm working with Greg on how we're going to do that. So we'll be getting back and try to get the next rotation in. There are already game rooms that popped up overnight, and those are not going to be grandfathered when we do this ordinance. So that'll be coming at y'all where we can slow this down. Same way we're looking at vape shops. I have 2 more wanting to come in. I don't know where they're going to get the business, but we'll deal with vape shops. Okay, so those 2 ordinances will be coming at y'all over the next months. You've got 3 projects going on at this time. You've got the sewer line going out to 2025, and the way we're putting it in is direct bore, so we're starting from the backwards coming down, and been making some real good progress as far as moving down. I'm waiting on the Shell station to respond to whether they're going to allow us to cut across the parking lot. However, we're going to go ahead and put an entrance in the front of the highway, just to be on the safe side. As far as the sidewalk project, you need to know that we're having discussions about some type of barrier between the shoulder and the sidewalk since they moved that on us. And they've done a study that shows that the speed limits inside the city limits really need to be lowered for the traffic that they're seeing. We will see how that goes. I'll have to meet with them next month in Lufkin and look at the results of that. One of the recommendations, the only way they can put a barrier, which would be a curb between the shoulder and the sidewalk, is to lower the speed limits to 35 in town. What that means is that if you start at the red light and you drive 35 all the way out to the city limits, compared to starting there and driving the speed limit, all you pick up is about 1 minute and 15 seconds in that trip. So, all of y'all that want to drive faster, just get up in the dark and drive faster. But I think that's going to be coming here for y'all to vote on, so be thinking about it and understand it's a public safety issue when it comes to that vote. But the first person that has to be on is the state commissioners to lower that. That will also lower the school zone to 25 miles an hour, which you probably need anyway. So you know that's what's coming your direction. Parks and Wildlife Project, the 38 trees have been removed. It's been leveled. It went off without a hitch in 3 days. I've got your base that goes down first, your crushed granite, and the topping, which is the decomposed small granite. I'll be talking with 3 bidders, and we'll get bids from the bidders on cutting the trench, leaving it open for the electrical area, and then coming back in and setting the base, and then setting the topping. And once we get, that's the big one here. Right behind that comes the playground and get it in. Then we do the electrical and the lamps. But this won't be a 3-day project, okay? So I'll be, this week and next week we'll be taking 3 bids on that. I guess the foundation we put out at the sewer plant, Kyle and I talked about it. We're looking at coming up with some way to make sure we don't have an erosion problem out there. But that project pushed back to midsummer as far as getting the slab poured and getting going on that one. Give me a break on getting these 3. Pretty much some of this wrapped up. The we have a grant, $2.5 million for sidewalk picking up at Exxon and going out to the low and moderate income housing on 150 East. We are battling about that. I gave them Jackson Street to go down to avoid the corner, which if we put sidewalks all the way to the corner and then out, then we lose all the valuable parking that's there. So I've got to go back and assure TXDOT that we don't want to do that. I would much rather go down Jackson, go down from the sheriff's office, cut across the annex and in and out, and avoid that corner. And so I'll be working on that with them. Also, I'm trying to get a head start on the grant from the junior high into the control crossing at the Exxon, and make sure we don't have the trouble that we've had with this one and a potential trouble that we'll have with the other one if we let it go the way that the engineers want to do it. When my assistant and I go out to meet with TXDOT, they have one larger than that, and we can pull up the live cameras and look at the situation that it's going to cause if we allow that sidewalk to be changed, parking to be changed to sidewalks at that corner. It's going to make it that much more dangerous. So I'll be getting back to y'all on those projects. This is what we're doing here. All the stuff we have on here under the reports and D and E. You'll always have E, but this is going to get rolled into a quarterly report where you won't have to hear this every meeting because it takes up time. It's not necessary. So this is our quarterly report. In 3 months, you'll have a report in detail on this. Obviously, if there's some developments we need to talk about, you'll see it on the agenda. So this won't be that long. Any questions on my little briefing? Okay, we're going to go with Josh. You want to tell us about where we're on operations?
So average flow for the plant is 49,000 gallons at 24% capacity. The max flow is 101,000 gallons and 2.25 inches of rain for the month. And we'll come back to the on-site lift station. Lift stations 1 through 6 were good, and sampling was good for February. Come back to the lift station. I got some pictures of Jessica. I think you're the only one that hasn't seen them. They're down here. So we had some shirts or some jumpsuits come from the jail, clogged up both. I mean, you can tell it from the jail. Come from clogged up both pumps. We were able to unclog both, but one of them burned up, and we got 2 quotes to replace it and 1 no bid. And it should be, the new pump should be in there Thursday, this Thursday. As long as it comes in, it'll be in there this Thursday.
How much?
It's about 7,000, that's for the new pump.
Are you gonna help us pay this?
Okay.
Are you gonna help us pay this?
I'm working on that. I met with Amanda and Jody, and they're doing a study for me. I'll be meeting with this time. That since we're never going to be allowed to break even on the way some of the stuff we get down there, I'm going to go back and take a look at the jail and look at the design on that. And if I'm not mistaken, they're supposed to have a grinder pump feeding into the sewer. I don't know if it's working or not. I'll certainly ask them to do that, but I'll leave that up to the commissioner to do that. I have been unsuccessful over there. What I'm going to do is suggest to y'all in the next coming months to increase the rates on the commercial rates. We need to go up on them because we're losing ground. And not just for the big users, but also the little users that we're getting grease and various things that does not need to be, it cannot be treated, okay? All they do is stop us the plant. We're going to increase the review of the weirs that catch some of the finer stuff into the plant. As far as the uniforms, how did those get in the system to start with, and how did it get past the grinder pump? Okay, it's the question. The last time we did this, I got with maintenance, and we put up a catch-all down in the manhole to make sure the stuff was coming out of the jail. And it indeed was. The problem with polyester, because in my other life, when I worked for the prison, I had manufacturing plants, and polyester is not going to be like 100% cotton. It's going to tear up your pumps. You cannot grind it up as easy, and you've got some seams in it, double seam, triple seam, you're going to tear up some pumps. So somewhere that's got to be stopped before it gets down there. So we'll work with maintenance over and take a look at that. We'll ask the questions, is that going to be replaced or not? And in answer to your question, the way we'll remedy this is if we can identify where it came from, we'll attach a surcharge to the monthly fees and bill and recover, just like we get attached to us on gasoline and everything else that happens in our life. So,
And that is school with the vapes.
well, the vapes are at the school tears up their grinders, and they're continuously replacing them. That's why they want to go to gravity down the hill, sort of just float down to us, and then we got another problem with that. So we're looking at two issues: the solids getting into the system and how to remedy that, and the amount of grease that we're getting. So we're going to intensify the restaurants as far as inspections and sampling on the grease. And I've asked for, I think I've got 2 restaurants that do not have grease traps, and we're going to move that up on them, and they're going to have to put in grease traps, or we'll shut it down until they do. Grease is not so bad in the summer, although it turns the plant upside down, but in the winter, when it hardens, that manhole, it starts stopping up stuff. So we're gonna change our approach to the commercial rates, and you'll see that coming up. Any questions on that? In fact, I'll let you know when we have a staff meeting, and I told either later this week on this one topic, we're gonna have a staff meeting. If any of y'all wanna come to it, to brainstorm how we're gonna approach this, you can, including you, Mr. Commissioner. You wanna see where it's going.
Absolutely.
That way you'll know ahead of time. All right, I'm gonna hit one thing on this and then take questions on anything else. I'm gonna jump to the main part of the agenda. The general fund, like always, I'm sort of a percentage guy. We should be at 25% on the revenue side. We're at 35%, meaning revenue is picked up and exceeded where we need to be. The total expenses are at 11%. Of course, that's normal. You start out kind of slow for that first quarter on spending money, and then all of a sudden it accelerates as you get through the summer. So you got quite a variance between what's coming in and what's going out, and we'll just wait for that what's going out to go up. One of the things, the reason for increasing the commercial rates is we want to change that variable over on the sewer. You look at where we are on the income right now, we're at 21%, which is not very far off from the 25 we're looking for. But on the total expenses, we're already up to 27%. And with $7,000, and possibly we might need a second pump out there. We'll wait and see what happens. I sort of terrorized Josh. I sent word to him on his fishing trip that what do you want me to do whenever that pump stops and that lift station fills up? How are we going to get that over to the sewer plant? So
Plus Hydro Clear charging us $1,900 for
cleanup, yes.
so that cost needs to be passed on to them.
I can assure you that you will tell me through Josh exactly what that number is on this incident. I know y'all will. And I've committed to y'all, instead of saying we're a service deal, we're going to be a break-even deal. And whatever it takes to get us to break even, we will do it through ordinances. So, like I say, you can look for a proposed ordinance on sewer rates coming at you here at the next meeting. Any questions on any of these, which are basically the same? Make sure that I do this because under the audits, we have to report our financial standing. We're at, in our people account, in our savings account, in our tax bill account, we're at $2,519,334.94, which is a little bit higher than what we were last month. Now, some of that at the end of this year will dribble out. For some of the additional stuff, we're going to take advantage on the sewer line and on parks and wildlife. So we'll keep track of that and try to make sure we don't exceed what we're supposed to do. And I'm sure y'all will remind me if I do.
Maybe can I ask you a quick one there, since you're kind of trying that area, not to back you up on that. Anything on how we're doing on the cleanup? You know, we talked about trash, illegal dumping and all that. I mean, I get a lot of people asking, how about these trailers right in the middle of town?
The judge is not here. I wanted to shake his hand and tell him that at the midsummer, we're going to start holding some municipal court.
Sure.
Okay? And one of them is nuisances, and the other one is safety. That we'll be dealing with some of the mobile homes and some of the areas that are really creating problems for us. I was just informed that after Miss Lottie's house was torn down and we fought to stop the burning, now there's a tent over there. So we'll see what we can do. The next door property is owned by the same owner, and there's a little trailer there. We thought it was in the state right away, but it's not. But it is on lots. So I've taken pictures and given it to the chief appraiser so he can put it on the tax roll since it's on lots. So we'll see how that does. Always can't solve the problems, but maybe can cause them to be solved, okay? Last time we put out the fire, we found carpet and stuff being burnt, and we pointed out the problem with that, and that stopped. So we'll see what happens. But in answer to your question, yes, we're going to accelerate things this year. Now that everybody's got their seat and everybody understands how we're going to operate the municipal court, we'll get going on it.
Appreciate that.
My enforcement officers, they're working on their credentials, and we'll get, I'll back them up and we'll go out and we'll serve citations and see how this thing works.
You get served with deputies already trained in that, so we're ready to go.
They'll be backing us up. Any other questions? Okay, let's see, Michelle, you want to talk about volunteer fire department for a minute?
About this week, this month.
So for the month of March, we had 12 calls, 1 structure fire, 2 grass or wildland fires, 1 smoker investigation, 1 landing zone, 2 false alarms, 2 disregards, 1 medical call, and 1 down tree. For training, we did left-right search, extrication, FRO protocols, Mayday, incident command, pumps, and our swim techniques entanglement. Upcoming, we've got the swim techniques breaching, SCBA, and wall orientation. We still don't have any county training scheduled. No station improvements for the month. We did sign our new contract with TXDOT. We also hosted our firehouse table with the local banks and title companies, and we attended the Best of banquet. Administrative updates, we have our MOU with DPS that's been completed. We became an affiliate with VFIS. Our Hummer brush truck had an oil pump and leaks fixed, as well as a pitman arm replaced. So pretty much what we got.
They were chosen best of fire department.
Yes. Okay, as far as capital projects, pretty much covered the sidewalks, the parking back. The Department of Ag, to try to get the $200,000 that was left over became too much of a problem. there wasn't gonna be any money left when we got 200,000, so I'll pull the plug on that. We're not gonna go after the 200,000 left on the table, let the Department of Ag take it and give it to the city of Houston or whoever needs it. By the time we got through, we were talking about 800 linear feet of line, and it's just not worth it. We'll come back at it. We already have the engineering on the first part of that done, and we'll put in to run it all the way down on the next ramp to the other end of the Faulkner on 2973. And that will connect everything from Faulkner to 2973. And that's the direction. There's no sense in fighting City Hall on this one. They've changed the rules constantly, and the way we'll approach grants is we will overestimate the distance we're going to get for the money, and that way there won't be any money left on the table. When we run out of money, we'll stop the project, reapply for another grant. That's the only way to beat City Hall on that. So, we've already talked about the 2025, give you a little brief scenario on where we're going. In 2027, we have a $2.5 billion opportunity with outgoing Senator Trail that I think fits the project. We're going to be competitive against large cities, but we'll be competitive. We'll see how that works. If we do not get the funding for the community center, I'll start looking at the Department of Ag and Housing for low interest loans, and we'll get that done. I'm tired of waiting. We're good to go. We have a 1.5 disaster recovery grant in the GLO for redoing the firehouse. We have the people over here. We've got some disaster recovery money that we're going for flood mitigation in downtown area, especially in front of the sheriff's office, the drainage. That is scoring high right now. We'll see how that goes. And I will take a look at where we're standing on the part back here on whether we're going to go after another 150,000 or just do it ourselves. Get it and do it like we're doing right now. We got a super bid on the clearing of the trees. I think, was it 7,000? And it got done in 3 days. So I don't think if we would have had a general contractor, it worked out that way. Okay, any questions from me? Okay. All right, let's go to the attorney.
I was just going to say, you talked to us, the county about helping out some of our back there, and talked to.
Yeah, let me touch that briefly. What I got as far as the design is not suitable to get the permit. I'm going to go back and ask for a redesign on the part that hits the right of way on 2973. If you're going to run your line in the right of way like you chose, not you, it was chosen to be done that way, then we've got to comply. And yes, I can get you a permit with my existing permit, but I've got to have a good document. And you only show one road board. In the state right of way, you're going to have to road board both of those crossings going into Head Start and put steel casing. And at the same time, keep your line on grade going down to the manhole. So I've sketched something. I'll probably give it to you and let you carry it for me.
You haven't done very good so far, so.
Well, you got me a lunch sack joint that I tried to use and will not work with TXDOT. But I'll get that to you and show you what the problems are. If y'all are going to go that way and not get a right of way across, it'll probably be cheaper, but it's up to you guys. We will still make the tap in our line.
At your line, absolutely.
You got to bring it to us.
I was referring to also your part back here. You talked to us about the routine.
Yeah, I would like for you to get with me this week and we'll look at the removal of the old asphalt walkway and see if y'all can handle that. Or if you want to try to do the trench, we'll look at that. Okay? So we'll leave that on our our morning coffee break that we have. The other one that I want to bring attention to is we have joined up with the San Jacinto County Special Utility District to help them and apply for a grant to provide some more horsepower to wells through the Water Development Board. The grant will be given to the city, funded through the city to the SUD, and we'll oversee it. That's one way of them tapping into some grant money and not have to take loans out to do what needs to be done. And as you know, as we grow, the water pressure goes down. There's more demand. And as they expand, it goes down. So if those pumps are upsized and run into a problem. So this is sort of preventative maintenance, to say the least, what happens to the fire department. And I've explained to some of my subdivisions that want to plat up that we're going to talk about in a little bit. We don't have fire plugs like in the city of Houston. We haul our water, and that's how come some of these other volunteer tankers will show up also to support what we're trying to do. It's a team effort, and it works real well. They think that they can go down a 10-foot wide road and put in a little subdivision, and I hate to upset them. It's not going to happen. So there's got to be room to get emergency equipment, not just fire trucks, but EMS in and out. There has to be ample room to do that. Otherwise, we've got our first one that wants to record a subdivision. We'll talk about it. It's the last thing on the agenda. So we're going to look at the safety issue first, okay? And I got referred. The son had gone to the county and asked the county, you were at that meeting, would you help them? And the answer was no, but there's a grant writer over there for the city. Why don't you go talk to her? Then it ended up in my lap, and I said, no, I'm not going to let this slide. We're going to work with them for a lot of the questions you ask yourself when you make a decision, or what are the consequences of this decision? How is it going to impact the lives of the citizens of Cold Springs, and are we doing things for the betterment of the community? And this is definitely going to be a plus on that. So I'm willing to do that and team up with them and see how this works. This will be a first. They're already on top of the application, and I'll review it and take a look at it, and I'll review it with you guys. So I'm going to be asking that question. How does this decision impact positives and negatives? If there's too many negatives, and the answer is no, we don't want to do it. Let's find out another way to do this. So we'll go from there. I'll get off my soapbox now. Council.
Okay, so other than stuff that's on the agenda, my other main project I'm working with y'all is still trying to come up with a possible permitting for game machines. I'm kind of watching to see what other cities are doing in light of this change in case law. Most of it I've been seeing following on the internet. They were out enforcing the rest of people and not worried about permitting and such. So,
well, I threw that at you and I said, I got it. These things are out. I went by the motel and there's a gamer.
yeah.
I walked in 2025 to approve a set of plans for a smoke shop to make sure everything was sound. I go over there and ding, 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 ding. This is overnight. It seems like we're the only convenience store that refuses to do that is Packway. And unknowingly, he gave a permit to one for the shopping center. And it was designated as a gift shop. And when I got the blueprints, there was 38 slot machines in there. So I went back to him, and he immediately pulled the lease agreement. That's not always going to be, the happy ending.
Well, somebody, and I forget whether it was a county or city, has asked the Attorney General to help clarify what all this means. And I kind of been waiting to see what the Attorney General's going to say, because we can follow in what.
That's fine, but what I was telling the crew, or I don't want to approve them, but if they're going to come in, then there are ways to regulate them. And one of the ways is make them get a permit that they pay for, not a cheap permit. And then maybe after all your studies, we get a monthly report on what each machine pays out and make sure it's following the law as far as the value of the coupon or the value of the gift. That might be a hard way to go, and you might not be able to do it, but if there's definitely gains of chance, then there's something going on.
Well, my gut is telling me that all those are part on the way out.
All right, well, I hope we're going to stay hooked to you because you're not getting away from us. You think you are.
Yeah.
And we're glad that where you're going to go at the end of the year. Pass that on.
Well, even if I'm not doing it here for you in that aspect of the game, we will find out about it countywide.
All right.
So, because it is something that's.
All right. As far as smoke shops, there's not a whole heck of a lot you can do about it, other than the law, the federal law, that the product that they sell for the vapes have to be U.S. made.
And there's some questions about whether or not they
Well, that's
or not.
enforceable or not.
And then there's some questions about the numbers that's on there, and to my understanding, there's not been any enforcement of that, because you have to send everything off to get it
Cost of the lab.
Yes, so, that's something else we will have.
All right, we'll monitor. Other than that, as we go down the road,
And then I got some comments on the
I'll
stuff.
let you make some comments and stuff, okay? All right, we'll get moving here. Let's go over to the fun part here. I get to designate on this one. Still reports. Mandy, you want to take off of those?
Sure. I had, 2 adjustments, for deposit supply, and 2 were meters that were pulled for non-pay. And I had 2 on the bottom list that were not made since paid. That's my report, back to you.
By the way, Amanda's volunteered to do a study on commercial waste.
Okay.
Volunteer.
And what, yes, I will do it with your help.
Yeah.
Okay. Smartly, just put it right back on me. Under old business, any questions for Amanda on those? The cutoffs seem to be working real well. People are starting to understand. If we cut off sewer, then the water is automatically cut off. If they cut off water, then the sewer is automatically cut off. So that works pretty well. All right, under old business A, and this is where you can come in here in a minute, discussion of possible action from Sanderson County Master Gardeners memo of understanding to relocate their demonstration garden from the community center to City Park number 2. I think, have you passed out theirs with the red in it? Council have reviewed this, and there's a few changes. The first one being demonstration garden under background. The second one understanding about the third sentence down, a minimum of 100 years or until this dedicated land is no longer continues to be mutually beneficial to local government and the master gardeners. I guess that's when they're old and gray and don't want to do the gardening, or the city don't want to do the park. I sent this red line over to Dr. B to share with, and what I got back is, this is no problem. Okay, legal.
That's why I put it on there, because I just felt like it kind of needed to be.
Are y'all okay with this? Any questions from me? I'm all for it. I think there's all kinds of potential for the use of the park whenever we do get the relocated items from the community center over here as we get through. There's all kinds of opportunities for different demonstration gardens out there. And I did talk with the master gardeners about a future as far as a greenhouse when funds are available. a work area when funds are available. Until that, we'll support them and get things done. But I want to get through with the park first to see where these items will go. I fully intend to put a greenhouse out there. I feel it, whether they're working it or other people are utilizing it, it goes with what we're trying to do in the park. So what I need is a motion and action for us to sign off on this MOU that you have.
I'll make a motion and action.
You-
Sign up on that.
As presented, and
Yes.
a second,
I second.
all in favor? All right, have it for me to sign, Jody. Okay, B, a discussion of possible action on public event application for Harvest Reach International Christian Motorcycle Rally event on May the 16th. Just get over. We're still, okay. Well, I hope we got it out that way. You don't want me to miss that. Okay. I see you now. Libraries, these are the libraries. Libraries. And I got Ms. Brown here. I sent the letter that you sent us to legal. Okay. And I think what we come up with is you gave us 3 options. And I appreciate that because I would have given them the options on this one. But I talked with our folks here, and are you on board with doing one of these agreements based on the 3 options if we choose number 3?
Choose number 3?
Yeah. So we would do either a contract or an agreement, whatever suits them as far as their funding source.
Okay, so, yeah, I mean, they gave you the 3 options, but I think number 3, they said that if you did number 3, you might not be able to fund that Dolly Parton program, so I don't know how important that is.
Are we funding that?
No, but we do use money from the city for that.
Oh, okay.
But we could, if that number 3, we could not give you the invoices from Dolly Parton.
Okay, right, you can't.
Right.
So you wouldn't be able to use the money for Dolly Parton from the city.
Yeah.
But you could use other money that we're giving you money for.
We prefer option 2, if you, yeah,
They prefer.
option 2, sounds good.
Okay,
I don't know if you want our reimbursement plan.
You will have to do like the others do on getting your funds, submitting the invoices or
Yes.
the orders.
Yes.
Is that an option? I don't have that in front of me. I don't-
Our main thing is making sure.
Mayor, you're supposed to pass those out.
Oh, sorry.
One.
Yes, one.
You had they were paper clipped.
Well, I don't have a paper clip, I got a profit loss deal.
You probably right there. Oh, there it is.
Nope, that's not it, I'm totally organized
Okay,
here.
okay. I'm not gonna, all right.
There's the 3, you wanna go over them? So you're opting for 2, we said we could do 3. 2 would be more work on your part, because you gotta call over and talk to Jody, just like the seniors do, and just like the fire department does.
Yeah, we understand that, yes.
So we would run it just like we're running the other 2, Jody. Does that work? 2?
What's the
Well, I'm
difference
not
in
sure
2
how
and
that- But is that following number 3, where y'all gonna pay directly? The invoice?
Those 2 would follow.
2 is reimbursed.
The reimbursement.
And is that what you wanted
That's not
to
what
do?
we
No, we
do.
don't reimburse.
We pay,
You have to
Y'all
pay
trying.
the invoices directly. You have to send them, like you originally, where Cheryl wrote up everything that was, you already, like Chico bill, like,
Whatever one of these options works between us,
yeah.
our biggest thing is we need a contract, so that is in, that's.
All right, let's do a contract with number 3 on it, we'll work out the difference. If you want to designate your utility bills, you pay it out of that, then that's a no-brainer, we can do that.
until their funds are used up.
Yeah, once the funds are used up,
Okay,
Without the contract, we cannot be accredited by the TXDOT.
Okay.
So we desperately need that.
You want to draft a contract?
I will.
All right, and we'll use option 3. You need that?
And I think I got
All
it.
right. Does that work for you, Jody?
Pardon?
Will that work for you?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yeah,
Okay.
I've got a bunch of extra stuff on
no,
here.
I got 20 pages that somebody sent me. Yes.
I've got the original one that we drafted, but now we go in and put in number 3 in the option part, okay? You with me?
All right.
You got it in your hands. All right, we're gonna do a contract with you. We'll focus on option 3.
Okay,
All right.
thank you.
We approve that, or we do it, we're done, do we need to make a motion?
And that needs to be optional.
I wanna get this, so Marsha and I
If you trust legal,
trust legal, we got it.
we will do a contract
Yes.
based on the original proposed, that will utilize option 3, the way it's spelled out.
Okay. And
Don't they need to approve that contract once he gets
where you
there?
can ratify the contract in the
Okay,
All right.
ratify the
Since
next
you're
meeting.
It's coming, Marsha.
I make a
rush.
motion,
All right.
All right,
And in between there, you can start
okay?
according to number 3 with us. We're not gonna get to pay it until we do the contract,
right.
okay?
We got it ready to go just as soon as we get the contract.
Well, I just have one question before we do this. These things that were listed here in the beginning in this contract that the proposed contract has different things, SHECO and all. I mean, that's what y'all want to be paying, right? I mean,
We're not paying cell phones, we're not buying fuel, we're paying utilities or fixed assets that they may have to.
right, it's things that will benefit the public by spending the public's money to
Yes.
keep that building going as a library.
Yes.
But my question is, do you want particular things listed in the contract, or just that you're gonna do this 25 and it's gonna be for the benefit of the citizens of Coldspring?
Sounds good to me.
Okay.
Now, having said that,
I'm sorry.
let me ask my 2 people who are involved. How do you feel? Do we need to get some more language in there? Can we survive?
I don't know, that could bring up a gray area if we have something, we don't have any guidelines to go by. What does council think? Does it need to be spelled out like utilities?
Mayor, who does the repairs on that?
Well, I kinda like it being spelled out, because you know what you're spending the money for.
How about utilities and fixed assets greater than $1,000? Bookshelves.
Because all this that you had listed in this proposed contract, other than this Dolly Parton program, I can see things that you would end up spending for.
Okay.
If you're comfortable with that, this
Just
vote.
not the Dolly Parton, because it's
Yeah,
I
something.
mean,
that
almost
we-
everything on that list with the exception of the Dolly Parton.
yeah.
I mean, that could be spelled out and that way everybody knows
Everybody
exactly where our
knows
money's
exactly.
going.
I'd rather it be spelled out.
All right.
That works.
That works. Take Dolly out. Poor Dolly.
Rich Dolly. You don't have to. She got this.
Yeah, I had my picture made with her gummy bear.
On that note, in Dolly Parton, almost 200, around 200 kids every month gets a free book.
Awesome.
Dolly Parton.
That is awesome.
And it takes about $25, $30 to spend for one kid for 1 year. All right, Greg, we understand that you're gonna drop.
Now that you all understand that, you come out.
All right, so,
For Greg to draw off the contract as presented, motion's been made, second.
They can't do it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Carries. Have at it.
Who made a motion?
Yay,
Aye.
more new business?
He second.
Okay.
Okay, fun and games. C, discussion possible action on interlocal agreement between the city of Cold Springs and the San Jacinto County Emergency Service District. I got that right without the acronym. All right. We sent over the draft to them to approve, and we were dealing with one item, and that was the housing and the way we would handle the housing for EMS. And then we got back a rewrite of our MOU by their legal staff, throwing a bunch of other things into that MOU. I prefer for the MOU to focus on one thing, like we did. So I sent an email to Olive Branch over there and said, hey, let's meet once a week and let's talk, brainstorm this. And I get back, we'll be glad to do it. And our council will be glad to attend. And I said, well, let's just forget that. If the head over there and the head over here can't sit down and talk and reach agreement, and I know we'll never get there with two attorneys, right? Well, you know from experience. So, my proposal that if indeed the security arrangements we made on the building is an issue, then we'll handle that with its own MOU. And I'm sending them a copy of, by the way, the mayor is, how do I put this, exercise his executive privilege by designating Michelle to be my on-site manager of that building. So she has a say for me, and I know what goes on. And y'all have a copy of the letter she sent me when I asked, can the ESD get into that building or are they locked out? And the answer is no. Y'all have a copy of that. And if not, I will make sure you do. All the key people can get in there when they need to. And in fact, during the daylight hours, it's not locked up. The only reason why we put the locks on it was for 1 in the morning or whatever, where there's some security there where people couldn't come and go, especially with the homeless. They'll be moving into the quarters and sleeping on the couch. So, and the fire chief, correct me if I'm wrong, can get in and get his equipment out?
Yes.
Okay, so all that's taken care of. So I think the way to handle this is for me to work, I'm gonna propose another MOU talking about the security of the building and they have full access of it and there's no need to give pass keys to everybody. Pass keys to EMS and to the fire chief who may need to get in there and get equipment out, it's no problem. We just want to control those keys. So it's secure at night. And I'll draft that and send it to you. And now I'm going to send the original back to them with, okay, a second one's coming. Set on this one, if you don't believe me, and wait till you see the second. And by the way, you already run a bill up on electrical and water. And we'll send that invoice to you because that's part of the agreement that they're not signing. Is that they will abide by the original agreement with the Coldspring Volunteer Fire Department Corporation, where they reimburse for EMS for electrical and water. Is that correct?
They paid it outright. They reimbursed us on the water and they paid the electric outright.
Well, they can't pay the electric because I took the electric out of their name and put it in mine where it belongs. The city gets the electric bill, the water bill, and the sewer bill. We waive the sewer bill. Okay? They get to reimburse us for the actual water and electric. And that's what we're going to send with this first one. So think about this because you're going to need to give me the authority to do that. And then I will draft the second one and send that to them. And then they can do all three of those activities at one time. If they agree, sign both MOUs, one for access to the building, one for the EMS quarters, and a little check to us for reimbursement.
Does that MOU go over to who on the ESD side of the house?
I send it directly to the chair, Ms. Russell.
Okay.
I took my lawyer's advice. I don't send it to the lawyer.
Right.
If they send it to the lawyer and it gets haywire, that's their problem. Send it back to me and we'll do this, but they will keep getting the bill on the water and electric, okay? Is that fair enough? A motion is discussed by the mayor to approve the billing, the originally MOU as presented to them. I'll send it to them again. And then a new one on access to the building. And I'm gonna designate Michelle as my on-site contact. If they have questions about, but I don't have access, she can show them that they do, okay?
Yes, I make a motion for that. As stated.
Thank you, as stated. Second,
As a lot to do. I'll second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Now, can I go to new business?
Yes.
I'm trying to get out of here.
Please, baby.
My dog is gonna be voting on me. Stepping out, let's see. Back to B, discussion of possible action on public event application of the Artist Reach International Christian Motorcycle Rally event on May the 16th, 2026. Okay. There's a process anytime you close the highway down that we have to go through. And I sent you a copy of what came back over from emergency. Your committee, public safety, are you on that one also?
Yes.
Okay. And even if they were approved, it's got to go past TXDOT. And I sort of checked with them and got their pulse. But our group said, we don't have grounds to close down the highway part of that because it's not necessary. They can go down to the control corner and cross there, the pedestrians, which gives them a little bit of walk compared to walking straight across over to the center. However, I'm sure y'all have deputies on site.
We do.
And if they want to do what they normally do is hold the traffic up and let groups pass, they can contribute there.
The only reason we were looking to close 150 was because all of our bands are inside the shelter this year. So the pedestrian traffic will be large, going back and forth across the street. And I met with Chief Jolly, and he even said he thought it was a good idea. Because to try to control people, you know, people do it, run across the road, and I know y'all know what I'm talking about. People try to see how fast their car will go from the Shell station to the stop sign here sometimes. And we watch it going on all the time. But, you know, that's not a possibility. I understand TXDOT's hard to deal with. But we just did it for the safety side of it, you know, just looking at it going, this would be a safe thing to do. We don't have a parade or anything like that going on. And, but, you know, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. So.
All right, as far as the city streets, I don't have a problem with that. We can barricade those off and the deputies can do like they did with the master gardeners and be visible. Hopefully you won't have a protest.
Yeah,
No King's Day. I hope we're over with that for a couple of months anyway. They'll come back and they can do it again, it's okay. And
let them come if they want.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fine.
all right. So correct me if I'm wrong, Jody, here, I need a motion to approve, or have we got the insurance and have we got the closing of the city streets as presented on the map? So this will be the final approval, with the exception of the closing of 150, and I'll talk to Jolly again about officers out on the crossing.
Make a motion to approve.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, carries with the exception of 150, okay? And I'll let you know how my conversation comes out.
Okay.
Because I've got other issues I need to talk to you
Yes, sir.
about anyway. Discussion and possible action on street complaint on racing vehicles and request for signs to be placed in the area. I've drafted That is a 12-foot wide street, okay? You gotta get on the side if you got oncoming, okay? The lady that has children and she's concerned. We do not have any speed limit signs on that street. Some of our neighborhoods, I'm proposing putting up 25-mile-an-hour signs with radar enforcement below it. We are working with the constable, and they contributed to her training on the use of radar. We can run some radar periodically on Faulkner or Reese or any of the other ones, but this one seems to be a pass-through. To where you're on 2973 and you zip down Smith or Grape and cut over to 150 and you're gone. So you've got additional housing that have gone in there and they will continue to develop it. At some point in time, we'll have to go after a grant and take the 80-foot wide street and widen it a little bit, but not now. My remedy to this is put up some signs that call attention to children at play from one end to the other, 25 miles an hour, and then have our constable go test your radar over there once in a while and see if that works. Suggestions?
Can you put up, speed limit sign, 25?
Yes. With radar enforcement under it,
Okay.
and children at play. One end, middle, and the other.
Mary, you ought to source for your signs.
You are, I thought.
Double check.
I can get the signs made if y'all put them up.
Yeah. Okay, guys,
It's probably, I work with local businesses, so I've got the local businesses that make the signs. You can put them up, my guys are gone, so I'm volunteering them without them here, but we'll get with you when we get the signs made up. Say 3 sets, if council approves it.
We're gonna need an ordinance for the 25 miles an hour. We're gonna need an ordinance for it.
Then we'll do an ordinance.
Okay. I'm all for it.
All right, so we'll draft the ordinance for you at the next meeting, you can pass it, and we'll go from there. I'll call the owner and tell her, do I need an ordinance to run the radar in there?
No, and
Yeah, you're on camera.
you can go and put those signs up, but you just won't be able to
Enforce it in municipal court.
Until we get the ordinance, okay.
But put signs
But
up,
we
that's
can
right.
get those signs
Yeah,
up.
I'll get them made and put
We'll
them up
get that
there.
ordinance.
Coming soon.
Next meeting. Coming
Did I have a motion to second? All in favor? Basically, we're gonna put the signs up in front of the ordinance, we're not gonna enforce the signs until the ordinance comes to play.
Second.
All in favor, carries. Do the fault now. Let's go to our next complaint.
Do you have that, Jody? Do you know?
She makes it up and I correct it. Well, Amanda makes it up, Jody corrects it, and then I come in and say, no, that's not right, let's do it this way. And then y'all sign off on it at the next meeting. So I'm sort of shifting the buck to you guys.
It will clarify.
All right, we got that, D, discussion and possible action on Reese Street property. I found that the property on Reese Street, and my commissioner doesn't know it yet, it's not in the city limits, it's in his bailiwick. So this needs to be condemned, and that's one of my meetings. It seems to be a lot of activity around 2 and 3 in the morning at that rundown shack.
Where it curves, I only got the far end.
Before you get to where the asphalt runs out, on your right side coming back, the first structure that's falling down.
It's yours.
No, that's yours. I'll give you,
Let's see that.
now, unless you want me to annex it.
They're my property.
Okay, because what I was preparing to do is the public nuisance is going after the demo and it's attached to the property, but you, it's no problem.
We'll work with you.
All right, I'm gonna talk to, about the activity at night. I've had 2 complaints by neighbors. The sheriff's department, let them take a look at it, and then I'm gonna put it in, give you a package. And questions on that?
You say Reese was not in the city?
It is, to where the asphalt runs out, there's a sign that says city limits, stops here, call your greater commissioner to get
Saturday every morning.
See what happens when you come to the. Okay.
He works over here.
You got a job.
Probably so you're protecting yourself, I understand.
Okay.
I will take care of that, it's outside the city, I don't need to move on that, I'll deal with it. Next one, discussion of possible action on ordinance 2007-8 and adopting ordinance 2026-3, adding obscene signs to prohibited sign in the city limits. Council?
Yeah, I sent just a couple of misspellings, and otherwise I thought it was a good ordinance.
Okay, so you're voting on the correction, and we took the red out, and it's ready to sign, and then we gotta advertise it, so.
And just so you know, the definition comes straight from the United States Supreme Court.
Thank you, so Supreme Court.
Yeah.
That's one I agree with, not a bunch of the other ones are good. But I don't get to vote anyway, so who cares? Okay, y'all have a copy of that?
Is that this one?
Yes, that was before he reviewed it, so that's why you got one with red on it,
But it's,
on the misspellings
okay,
that he corrected. So you'll be approving the one with the corrections.
okay,
We'll take the red off, and that's the one you approve.
all right.
Motion?
Make a motion to approve ordinance 2026-03 with corrections.
Second?
I second.
All in favor? Carries. Moving along, discussion of possible action on the city to engage Corral, Riggs, and Ingram LLC certified public accountants for the 2025 city financial audit. And I looked at the proposal, what, at $21,000 for that audit?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we've already carried the boxes to them. Y'all are coming in behind and saying what we've done is okay. We're rehiring our same auditors for 2025.
They just have the new name.
Yes,
They were bought out.
they were bought out, that's the reason. We'll get to 2024 here in a minute, so that you're approving the contract for them to work on
I
2025.
make a motion that we approve the contract. I second.
All in favor? Carries. Now we get to a funky one. This is discussion of possible action on accepting the 2024 city audit prepared by Carr, Riggs, and Ingram LLC certified public accountants. We have a copy of that. It's wire bound. We have fought to get that done. The old group, when they were bought out, they were in final review on it. That stopped, and then the new group had to do a final review on it. The most important part of the 2024 audit is going to be on page 38. All the rest is boilerplate. You get that on every audit. Disclaimers, whatever. The findings are what we're concerned about. If you go to 38, findings and recommendations, none. Meaning, what we're doing is fine. A lot of us contributed to these two ladies here. In that each month there's a closeout, it goes into a box, and at the end of it, it's ready to go. And they're welcome to come here and get it. I end up hauling it to Lufkin, and they complete the audit based on what we sent. So, discussion of possible action accepting. So a motion to accept the 2024 with no findings.
I make a motion to accept.
Second. All in favor? Aye. Carries. Okay, the bottom one, the Donkey Trail subdivision. Y'all have copies, or they get a copy of that little map that the developer sent us?
That's what I was calling it?
Oh,
It's called
Donkey Trail.
You said with the little map, so that looks like a game.
It looks like a game, but when you look at the footage on the lots, It is not a tiny home, it's a mobile home park with mobile homes right up next against each other. And I've told them, number one, the right of way in there is not wide enough to support public safety issue to get emergency equipment in.
You barely can see the road on Google Maps because the trees cover it. It's like that big.
It's a picture of it.
It also goes underwater in severe flood.
Yes, sir. It floods across the top of the church.
Where they put that double wide on 150, it'll be behind all that.
Gotcha. But it goes all over.
It's only 5 acres. It's cut up. He's got 2 cul-de-sacs to get in there. There's no way to get in with EMS or fire equipment in and out at the same time. So.
You're not getting much bigger down there.
Huh?
You're not getting there bigger down there.
I was just gonna say, it's like a big, driveway, isn't it? I don't know how many trailers down there.
That's a dead end.
Yeah, but that gate is part of the same 5 acres.
I don't think so. Basically, I went down there to check the manhole, and we were tying on the 2 mobile homes, the one that washed away. And I know that we don't want that as a city street, not developed.
There's a motion that's only just 5 acres.
And he doesn't have the right of way to widen it up to do the development. Plus now, he's giving himself up by giving us these 30-foot wide chunks. It makes it even worse. It's sort of like the trailers that they're gonna put in behind or Valero. It's just not buildable. So, my intentions is to deny the development of the subdivision.
Did someone just buy the property though?
I can't get the truth out of it. It's like dealing with the game. One day it's one thing, and I'm surprised he gave me the drawing, because that's what kills the deal for him. All I'm saying is we're not going to record the subdivision.
Well, I'm pretty sure that we wrote an ordinance that included that.
Because we used it on Valero.
Yeah, and I don't believe that what I just heard you say would even come close to that.
No, not that. Originally, I looked at the counties, and it would have to be half acres if they were going to put in a septic system. But sewer's available now. He's got to pay to get the sewer brought there. And then he's got to buy the right of way. And there, okay? So I'll go back and pull the ordinance that we used on Valero and just say we're not going to approve his plan and let him see what this next step is. So we may see, okay?
If he has a plan sometime, then go to the county, we'll run it to the engineer, and let them shoot it apart. I mean, you got drainage, there's so many other things you can.
Well, yeah, we're not even getting to the drainage flow.
Yeah.
The road's not big enough to get the emergency equipment in. If he's gonna have that many tenants there, oh, you're saying it's time to go, okay. That was a briefing, I'll take care of that.
Yeah, okay.
Any other questions, other than the final, someone? All in favor? We're out of here, thank you for your time. Eventually, we're gonna finish the community center, and we'll have a meeting over there.
Okay.